Now in the Quran as well, it comes with Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam that they once asked to see death. They called out to Allah, they said, Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, I want to see death. I want to know about death. You know, because they wanted to have that experience of seeing it so that their conviction could grow. So if this is them, a prophet of Allah, one of the greatest, imagine how much me and you need this conviction today. So many years later, thousands of years. So they said, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala basically said to them that, take the bird and chop it up into 4 pieces and place it in separate areas. And they said, Ya Allah, I want to see how you bring death back to life. That's what they wanted to see. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, okay, once you've chopped them up and placed them in different places, call out to the bird. So call out its name, you know, like pigeon or peacock or whatever. So they called out its name and they saw all 4 pieces of the bird coming together again and flying like normal. So they needed this. This is Sayyidina Ibrahim al-Islam. We all know Sayyidina Ibrahim al-Islam, don't we? Wohi Nabi hai jinhone dua ki thi Hazur sallallahu alaihi wasallam ki. Such a powerful prophet. Such a great prophet. They're known to be a friend of Allah, Khalilullah. That's their title. So you got aag mein phenke gaye the, wo aram kar rahe the. That was their status. They asked to be conviction. And even this, you see, because the conviction is that the real power, it comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We need to be reminded of this, experience this. Even Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam once actually, what happened was they had some sort of a pain in their chest or stomach. So they asked Allah, Ya Allah, what do I do with this pain? And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala basically said to them, go to this tree and take off a leaf and rub it against that pain basically, and it will get healed. So they did that and they got healed. Sometime later, a couple of months later or so, they felt pain again. So they went to that leaf and they went to wipe that pain again. What do you guys think happened? Okay, anyone think anything else? Anyone think anything else? Does anyone think it was working? They got healed. Anyone have a different answer? Okay, so brother, why do you think they got healed?
Because they were not experienced once.
Okay, mashallah. And why do you think he didn't get healed? Mashallah. Mashallah. You're right, mashallah, they didn't get healed. So they asked Allah, they said, Ya Allah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala basically said that the power is from me. It's not that thing. So we must adopt the means. We must do this methodology, seek permission, take time out. But that is never what's going to allow ourselves to see and taste. That's never going to allow us to experience. It's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that allows. We must repent. We must get up. We must control our body, mind, heart, soul. We must. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the being. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the being that will take us, inshallah. So with this spiritual path and journey itself and enlightenment, as we just heard, فَأَيْنَ تَذْهَبُونَ, where are you going? Everything in life has a goal. You know, big businesses. Is anybody a businessman? Anybody in the business industry? Anybody? Okay, so that's fine. We all probably watch things like Apprentice and stuff anyway. So big, or that Dragon's Den. So big businesses, right? What they do is they have a goal in mind. And how they move forward is they keep reminding themselves of that goal. They remind themselves, this is what I'm looking to attain. This is what I'm looking to attain. So it's the same with ourselves. We must remind ourselves, this is what I'm looking to attain. I'm looking to get Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, attain Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I want Him. And the way I'll get Him is these 4 objectives of the spiritual path. So basically what this means is, with the spiritual ascension, these 4 things should start to come into you. These 4 things. So brother, could you read the first one? Very briefly, just mention this second point. Yes, this leads. The second. MashaAllah. So your first objective, you've all understood, yeah? Your first objective should be that you start to live your life as though you can see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Your presence of Him becomes so much as though you can see Him. We can't see Him in this world. We never can. But it's as though you can see Him. Like the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala might be in front of us all the time. For example, you have that level of experiencing and intimacy with Him that He's with you all times. The second objective is to reach such great closeness to Rasulullah. You know, who here listens to Nas and Nasheeds? Right, put your hand up. Right, what's your favorite Nasheed at the moment? Pearl, mashallah. Do they talk about Rasulullah in that one? I don't like it, no joking. Mashallah. Right, they do, mashallah. That's good. I've not heard it actually. But many hadith, right? Many nasheed, sorry, they speak about love of Rasulullah. Like there's that big hadith, Main yahan hu, mera dil Medina mein hai. People sing this all the time. I'm here, I'm thinking about Medina Sharif. I wish I was living in your time. I wish I was with you. I wish I could see you. Give me some Quran, give me this, give me that. You attain such a great level of closeness to Rasulullah. It's as though you can see them all the time. It's as though you're with them all the time. You feel their presence. And it actually comes as well that there's certain great friends of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. One student actually asked them once that, is it possible to see Rasulullah in a wakeful state? Like you yourselves went to Medina Sharif. And they said, if I don't see them for 1 second, I'll think I'm not a Muslim. Meaning that's how much closeness they had to Rasulullah. And even Sayyidina Abu Aziz Dabagh rahimahullah, such great closeness, inshallah, if you want to know, you could ask. The third objective is that you attain a great level of mercy. A great level of mercy to the extent that you sacrifice your life to help others. To help them with the mission of Rasulullah. To worry for them. To worry for the ummah like Rasulullah did. Rasulullah Sayyidah Aisha Siddiqa radiallahu anha asked, Ya Rasulullah, where will I find you on the Day of Judgment? Where will I find you? Where will you be? They said, I will either be on the Hawd-e Kawthar, giving water to people from my blessed hands, or I will be on the mizan, on the scales, interceding for people. Ya Allah, forgive people, forgive my ummah. Or I will be on the bridge of Sirat, pulling people out of hell. Feeling that heat, pulling people out of hell. This is how much worry they have. Such a pure being has to feel the heat for people like me. They'll be pulling people out of hell. But then this spiritual ascension, because Rasulullah went, they came back, and they went to Medina straight away, spread the message straight away. We should adopt that as well. And the fourth objective is that the person wants only Allah. Wants only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. His closeness, His being, to be with Him. Nothing else. I don't do it for Jannah, for example. This is what should come in the person. They don't do it for Jannah. They don't do it for status. They do it only for Allah. They do it only for Allah. You see? And this should come within the person to such a level that, like it mentions, they don't seek appreciation, reward, acknowledgement, compensation, and praise from the creation. And you see this. Meaning, our teacher Sheikh Ahmad Dabagh, they never asked for money or anything. They never asked praise. Like the Ustad was saying, if they were here, they wouldn't let us praise them. And they're teaching this to us. They're the walking, talking, physical, spiritual aspect of this. You can see it in their own life. Everything that's mentioned here. So now inshallah we're going to go through the master map of where we can actually go. So far we've traveled, meaning yourselves have traveled to Morocco, Fez, after finding our teacher Sheikh Ahmad Dabagh, and from there to Medina Sharif, mashallah. And some of you maybe traveled other places but you've not mentioned, right? Which you should, inshallah. So how this journey starts is that you learn about the prophetic ascension first. You learn about it, you get permission, and then you start to purify your spiritual centers. Over here it says 11, but this 7 is sufficient. And then we find our teacher, Shaykh Ahmed Dabbag, and we travel to our teachers, our grand teachers, through whom this teaching came. And then we go to visit Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Now after visiting Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, like we mentioned with the Miraj Sharif, you go to the Kaaba. You go to the Kaaba, you might do some zikr there. You enter into the Kaaba Sharif, you see the Kaaba all around you. Then you go to Masjid al-Aqsa. Now what happened with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam when they went to Masjid al-Aqsa on their night journey? Who did they meet there? They met all the prophets. You might meet them all. You might pray 2 nafil there. You might spend time with them there. And then after that, you go into the realm of Barzakh. You all remember what a Barzakh is, right? The place in the grave, the station of the grave. So here you go through each sky. And as you can see, how many skies are there? That's like each body organ. Each body organ you control, you actually get a connection to one of these skies. You control one body organ, the first sky, you've got a connection. Second sky, third sky, you've got a connection. And by sitting here sometimes, mashallah, the spiritual centers, they help sometimes, mashallah, and the ustads and things. And then after that is the heavenly Kaaba, Baytul Ma'mur Sharif. And again, in the skies, who did Rasulullah meet in their ascension? They met in the first sky, who did they meet? Sayyidina Adam al-Islam, second sky, third sky, different prophets. Who did they meet in the 7th sky, Baytul Ma'mur Sharif? Sayyidina Musa al-Islam was sick. After that, Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam. Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam. It comes in narrations, they saw them leaning against the Kaaba Sharif. Right? You might see them there. Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam. They might give you nasiha. Their whole journey is an example for us. This is what can happen to ourselves even. This is what can happen. This is why the ustads want yourself to reply and give feedback so that they can help you attain this. Which one of you wouldn't want to attain this? Which one of you wouldn't want to go to the heavenly Kaaba? It's mentioned that every day about 70,000 angels go into that Kaaba to do tawaf, and they come out and those same angels never go again. You might see them angels doing tawaf. And as it's mentioned as well, every Ustad Abdul Rahim mentioned yesterday, that every heaven and every sky has its own Kaaba, its own Allah Ta'ala's Tajalli, that people of that place worship. And then the Dome of Barzakh. The Dome of Barzakh. It's end basically. Where the Barzakh ends, where the blessed personalities rest. And then after that even, what comes after that? The Lotte tree. Does anyone know what the Lotte tree is in Arabic? Ji? Sidratul Muntaha, mashallah. And this brother, mashallah, they speak Urdu as first language. Mashallah. Right? Sidratul Muntaha. वही है माशाल्लाह ये. तो बंदा यहाँ तक पहुँच सकता है. आप सोचें हज़ूर पाक सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम की मेराज शरीफ में सैयदना जिब्राईल अलैहिस्सलाम ने कहा कि या रसूलल्लाह इसके आगे मैं नहीं जा सकता अब. I can't go beyond this. आपने अकेला जाना है. You go by yourself. Meaning I can't move forward in this. Here they claim their blessed heart, gave them strength, and you go by yourself. But spiritually, yourselves can go beyond. Yourselves can go beyond the Lotte tree. And it's actually mentioned as well that the Lotte tree has the names of all the living people on there. All the people on the face of the earth, their names written on there. And if a leaf falls off, so a leaf with my name, your name falls off, that person is to depart from this world within the next year. So maybe our leaf has fell off. Meaning it's a serious matter. And alhamdulillah, such a great opportunity to go into the station of Tawheed. As it mentions as well, first heaven, second heaven. The person has the choice. Some people want to go and see the heavens. No, I don't want to go see the heavens. MashaAllah, you know this, a piece of dust on the carpet, for example, a piece of dirt on the carpet. Do you want to know the value of that dirt? Does anybody know the value of that dirt? Does anyone know? Put your hand up if you do. Okay, mashallah. Let me see if there's one here. I just picked this piece of dirt up from the floor, right? This piece of dirt, by the fadl and rahmah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, a hoor is created for me in Jannah there and then. I could probably go and see them. Just by picking, don't start, getting the hoovers out and stuff now. But, we could possibly, inshallah, Allah ta'ala wills, isn't it? Do you think that person's then going to want to see the women of this world? It's actually mentioned there was this one pious, righteous friend of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He only heard, right? He heard the voice of a hoor. He heard the voice of a hoor. And what happened was for the next 30 days, any woman's voice he would hear on this earth, he'd feel sick. Just by hearing a woman's voice, he would feel sick. Literally feel sick. It would come out. Ulti nikal jati. SubhanAllah. But then if a person doesn't want to go through the heavens, as you can see the 7, you go through the station of Tawheed, you develop the skill. The station of presence. The station of closeness. You learn about the names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, His loves, His attributes. You develop you start to see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, like His name and tajalli all the time. You can't see Him in this world. Only Rasulullah had the honor and respect. It's mentioned as well, Sayyidina Abdul Aziz the Bagh, rahimahullah, the being who taught this to ourselves, through whom this has come, who we actually send peace and blessings upon, and ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to raise their ranks, and by their wasila to help us also. When they would blink their eyes, they would actually see about 100,000 names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And every time they blinked their eye, they would never see those same names. They would never see the same 100,000 names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala each time they blinked their eye. And with each blink, different set of names. Imagine how much closer they had. How much they had. They will always be, mashallah, there. And then you get the station of loving Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala at a great, great level. And then you start to see the Lawh Mahfuz. We're not even halfway through yet. Honestly, the master map, we're not even halfway through yet. It's Lawh Mahfuz. You all know what the Lawh Mahfuz is, right? It's got everything written on there. Everything is written on there. Then you get to the kursi. Backless and legless chair. Then you go beyond the kursi, beyond the throne, beyond the arsh of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now many of ourselves as well, we probably think there's only one arsh. There's so many levels of the arsh. So many levels. The highest level is the one that Rasulullah went to. They walked upon. We will never ever get there or think that. But there's so many levels of the arsh. Then you learn about the mercies of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Look, it goes more and more. The doors to different places. 70 veils. Different angels live there. The world of Raqqa. Station of excellence. The house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the Ustads that have actually explained some of these things, they mention that the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is probably twice as much as everything that's been before it. Twice as big. And then after that you get stations. What's the word Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose in the Quran about Isra wal Miraj? What's the word? How did they describe Rasulullah? Bi-abdihi. Bi-abdi. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in front of Him in spiritual world, in front of the pious righteous, the angel, the word abd, the servant, is such a great, great title that they chose Rasulullah to be there. We could possibly adopt these, be gifted these stations of abdiyah, ubudiyah, inner servitude. The inside of you is always submitting to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, always remembering Him, connected to Him, complete, absolute. You're like transparent. You attain Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this is just all of it together. Summarize, look, it can't even fit on one page. This is the map for all of us. And this is all in your books as well. So, mashallah. So this is, and if you remember as well, when Rasulullah returned, when they returned from the Miraj Sharif, and they told the companions about this, they mentioned the companions were shocked and they were like, Ya Rasulullah, we want this, we want this, we want to travel this way. And they said, As-salatu miraj al-mu'mineen. The salah, the namaz is the ascension for the believer. That's what we're going to learn inshallah tonight. The prayer is the ascension for the believer. Because in the prayer you are supposed to travel through all of these places. You're supposed to go as much as you can. That's all of it in one page. And then when you return, now like the Ustads were saying, Ustad Abdurrahim, Ustad Sha'alam, Ustad Ijaz, when you return, your life should change. You come back through the Kaaba and your salah should change. Your namaz should change. You develop a great level of khushu and enjoying your prayer. You know, Surah Al-Mu'minun, those that enjoy their prayer, they get khushu in their prayer. Your charity changes, your ibadah changes, your fasting, your tawaf, your Quran, the way you recite. Your sunnah changes. Presence, mercy. You change as a whole being. And that's what should happen when we leave here. We shouldn't go home and start effing and blinding again. We shouldn't go home and be chaotic for our family members, our spouses, our children, our parents. We should go be rahmah for them, mercy for them. They should know this person went on a 2-day retreat. He spent 20 years though, really. It's actually mentioned as well, Rasulullah, time froze for them. Time froze. But how long they spent? Hundreds and thousands of years maybe. We don't know exactly. I don't know exactly. Comes in books, different narrations. 80,000, 120,000. Allah knows best. Time froze. So we spend 2 days here. We can attain so much by the blessings of the mashayikh and the prayer. And then you visit Rasulullah again. You visit their blessed grave. You get their presence, receive their presence. And this presence becomes as though you can see them. Literally. Like I can see all of you now. You can see them like that. Such detail. Such detail. You can explain how their blessed hair looks, their blessed eyebrows, their blessed smile, their beard. You can notice it all. Imagine, you get a gift, a special gift for you. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Rasulullah wants to give you a special gift. All for you. And then you start to do the khidmah. You start to serve people. You start to help people attain this gift and presence and closeness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is what should come within us. Because we are the ones that testified in the world of spirits. We are the ones that said to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Ya Allah, we will help Rasulullah. We won't help shaitan. We won't follow their footsteps. We said that. No one forced us. We said it out of our own free will, out of our own choice. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves me and you so much, just like He created us out of love, out of that same love, that infinite and perfect love, He has blessed ourselves to know how to attain this. To know how to help Rasulullah today. All we have to do is take steps. What is it? Hadith al-Qudsi, if my slave takes 1 step towards me, I take 2 to him. If he takes 2 to me, I walk to him. If he walks to me, I run to him. If he runs to me, I fly to him. If he flies to me, spiritual ascension, he comes to you at the speed of light. But we have to take the step. We have to walk forward. You get the station of da'wah. And again, I'm going to give the example of Shaykh Ahmed Dabag. If they were here, they would have stopped me from speaking. But look at what they're doing. We don't even get to see them anymore physically. We just spend time with them. They're always here, there, spreading the message. It's as though you're living the life of the companions then, like it shows at the bottom of the presentation. And this is just everything explained in one diagram, which again is all in your books. This is all in your books. So that's why the Ustad, when the books was handed out, Ustad Shiraj Mahmood mentioned that these books are not a book. They're a gem. They're a diamond, they're a ruby. Consider it a pearl at the bottom of the ocean that people try to swim and get for all their lives and they can't find it. It's being given to you. Literally consider it like that. Think of it like that. Next time we do the ascension, be thankful for that. Just that one book. Emphasize what it is. And these are just some obstacles that come, which I'm just going to very quickly go past. Now sometimes a person, they already think that they are having, because mashallah, when you come here by the blessings of the the teachers and the mashayikh and the fadl and rahmah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, sometimes a person can attain so much very quickly. By being here, they can access many different places. And they get the false assumption that they've already purified their body, mind, heart. And that's why we did the reviewing. That's Shiraj Mahmood did the reviewing yesterday, because these 4, 5, 6 things, they are what stop a person sometimes from going. They actually have an effect. Like Ustaad Sha'ala mentioned, in maybe if we have a level 2, level 3 retreat, we'll mention more about the spiritual centers. You'll understand how these have an effect. They actually have an effect on everything you do. And the way you deal with creation, the way you deal with them has an effect, a major effect. Your haram risk has a major effect. And then another thing that sometimes happens, we want things to happen very quickly. We don't be patient. We think negative. Is it happening? Is it not happening? Why is it not happening? It's happened to him. Why is it not happened to me? We're not pleased with what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has done with us. We give up easily. If I can't have it, fine. Forget it. I'm going elsewhere. If I can't get the peace here, I'm going to go to the peace in the wrong way. No. Take a chill, bro. From Oldham. Take a chill and relax, mashallah. You spend a bit of time, invest a bit of time. You know, you become lazy. You don't purify yourself. This is all that's been explained. The 5 amars, this is everything. 11 points. We're not emphasizing them for no reason. Now, this is something that, mashallah, we didn't go through. You see, the teacher, when we have the ascension, spiritual, the teacher, this is what they have to do, right? And in the end, I'm going to ask somebody to count these. The first thing is they have to give us permission. They have to teach us the methodology, right? They have to give us guidance. Spiritual help. When we're in that world, they're helping us. That's why I find your teacher first. Spiritual accompany. Focus on your teacher. They remove the obstacles. We don't know what that means. If we did, we'd be surprised, like, whoa, this is what they're doing for me and you in a world we don't know exists. They interpret the visions and feelings. Me and you can't. Like that brother before mentioned, I think it was a bad experience. They asked, are you being your own teacher? They said it in a joking, positive way, but it's true. We can't, meaning like, interpret for ourselves. They take our soul, our spirit to different stations. They present ourselves to Rasulullah's presence. They present ourselves to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's presence. Right? So how many was that? There was 10. Right? 10 things the teacher has to do. How many things do you think me and you have to do? The student, how many things do you think we have to do? If the teacher's got to do 10, how much do we have to do? Who said 50? Okay, mashallah, that's one opinion. Anyone, anything else? Who said 2, 3? Okay, mashallah, anyone, anything else? 1, mashallah, anybody, anything else? 20, mashallah. The teacher always has to do more than the student. That's rule of thumb. Rule of thumb. The teacher always has to do more than the student, right? And for those of you that said, how many are shown here, they were right. All we have to do is to learn, transfer, and find the teacher. The golden breath is all we have to do. Everything else is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and from Rasulullah and from the teacher's help. The teacher's doing everything else. Me and you don't have to worry about it. All we have to do is learn, train, transfer, and find the teacher. They will do all of these points. All of these points. Remove the obstacles, take us different places, present us to Rasulullah. We want to see Rasulullah. That brother, who was it, that he tried to go himself and without the teacher, sometimes it will happen. That's why the teacher called us back. Because the teacher wants to present us there. That's their job. It's not my job. It's their job. It will happen. We just need to be very patient. Alhamdulillah, all of this is gone through. I'm going to make sure if there's anything that isn't being mentioned. Just change it. So yeah, again, you find your teacher, that's the main thing. And you travel, and you could see, this is again, maybe some diagrams maybe weren't mentioned before. just for ourselves to remember next time we do. Maybe we could go here, the Kaaba door opens up, we go inside. And that's it, inshallah. What time is Jamaat? What time is Jamaat? Okay, mashallah. So inshallah with this as well, I don't think yourselves should have any questions, but did you all understand the map? Yeah? That how far yourselves can actually really go. Let me just open the map up again. So it's very, very a great big blessing for ourselves. And different muraqabahs that you take us different places as well, like you mentioned. So we learn different muraqabahs, inshallah. And all these blessings is from mashayikh and from teachers. And anything good that was mentioned is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Everything false is from myself. Subhanakallahumma bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.
Alhamdulillah, we just had the session on the map of